Welcome to our Friday, April 29, 2016 edition of the Government News Brief. In the news, government will not interfere with the day-to-day operations of the state media. Public Security Minister assures there is no security threat, and Mocha and Diamond to get street lights. Stay tuned for the details of these and other stories. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan and this is the Government News Brief. Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan is assuring Guyanese that the situation at the Georgetown Prisons remain under control. Here is Paul McAdam with this report.
Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan says that citizens can be assured that the situation at the Georgetown Prisons is under control.
There is no national security threat, in my opinion, and based on all the information we have gotten. There is nothing that will not be controlled and contained by the ministry and also the police and the army. And so indeed it is very difficult a situation. I could understand prison warders speaking to the press about these, because from that news in the Chronicle, it did indicate as if things are really bad. Indeed, as I would like to say, things are not normal because of what has been happening. And of course the prisoners have gotten a new, to use the local vernacular, a new spouse. They are now having cell phones. They deal directly with certain opposition members, I understand. They deal directly with certain newspapers, reporters, and all of that. We have to utilize whatever messaging we are getting from all of this, and to use as part of our intelligence to deal with the situation. And we are dealing with it.
Even as reports that some officers are affected by low morale following the prisoners' riots of March 4th, Minister Ramjatan explained that measures taken have not only restored security, but will eventually rebuild this morale. He's calling on the media to be more responsible in its reporting. The minister explained that the Mazaruni prison, once a penal settlement, will be reconfigured to house high-profile prisoners who are committed to serving long sentences. Between 120 to 150 such prisoners will be sent to Mazaruni prison, in addition to those already in the Region 7 facility. He reiterated that the situation at the Georgetown Camp Street prisons is under control.
There has been a number of things that we have done, largely getting the army to help out outside of the perimeters of the prison, and also inside of the perimeters of the prison, getting police ranks to help, especially tactical services unit, and that has helped in the situation. We know that because of the very, very bad attitude of prisoners towards the prison warders, doing a number of very reprehensible things.
Security has been enhanced in and around the Georgetown prisons with the presence of extra joint services ranks, following the March 4 riot that resulted in the death of 17 prisoners. Paul McAdam, Government News Brief.
President David Granger told media operatives at a workshop organized by the Guyana Press Association today that the government of Guyana remains committed to the promotion of a high degree of media professionalism. He said his administration will not undermine the professionalism of state media workers by subjecting them to political direction or interference in their work. The head of state noted that the state is obliged to preserve, protect, and to promote citizens' rights to freedom of expression, and pointed out that his administration recognizes the role of and respects the separation of powers among the three branches of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. It accepts that the state media have a duty to report accurately and without bias on all three arms of the state, and that they are obliged to report the views of all parties in the National Assembly in the course of public business. However, the state will continue to have a presence in the media, the president assured, as this is necessary because the private media are located largely on the coastland and they do not possess sufficient resources to provide public information to all citizens, especially those in the hinterland and rural regions. The state media have a duty to ensure that the opinions of those on the margins of society are heard and that the media should serve in the interest of all the people of Guyana and not only the government. The president said that the relationship between the state and private media must be seen as a partnership in providing a public good. Over 4,000 residents of Blackbush Polder are now benefiting from improvements in their community. Details in this report.
The Neighborhood Democratic Council chairman of Blackbush Polder on quarantine, Thakur Prasad, says that the community has benefited from significant infrastructural development projects. These projects have improved access for the over 4,000 residents.
We have one main road, which is started from Adventure to number 43, consisting of 22 miles. With several roadway bridges, I think 11. These bridges were made of timber, and now it has all been concrete. Now only 3 high bridges remain to made into concrete. And in the cultivation areas, the area, the Lesbiolian area, have already, all the timber bridges have been changed to concrete in the cultivation areas. My Bikuri, we will just have about 3 more to complete. We have 1 or 2 concrete bridges at the other end.
The Region 6 administration spent in excess of $30 million last year to repair and construct new bridges, culverts and access roads. However, other areas still need intervention.
Already repair this the good government done last year, but the approach them need to do better, because when the rain fall, that's the problem. When tractor got to go work right, seal come out back, a bit mud.
In the predominantly agricultural community that comprises 4 villages, Lesbiholden, Maibikuri, Johanna and Yakusari, over $25 million will be spent in 2016 under the region's capital works. This sum will cater for the rehabilitation of a heavy-duty bridge at Maibikuri Johanna Frontlands Canal and the reconstruction of wooden bridges to concrete at Field 17 to 18 and Field 19 to 20 Maibikuri North. Shanti Govardhan with this government news brief.
Residents of Mocha and Diamond East Bank Demerara are to benefit from street lights. Renetta LaFleur has the details in this report.
Residents of Mocha and Diamond East Bank Demerara will soon benefit from streetlights, says Minister of Public Infrastructure's Work Services Group Coordinator Jeffrey Vaughan. This is in keeping with the government's pledge to create safe, comfortable communities for citizens' long-term well-being, Vaughan explains.
We have 2 main areas that our focus is on at present, which is in Mocha Road and also in Diamond. So those areas will soon be lit. There's also contracts awarded for lighting to be done in Philippi on the quarantine course. So those are our concentration at present, and we intend to continue to see lighting.
Sophia and Linden Soulsdyke residents are among communities that recently benefited from streetlights.
There was street lighting being done on the Linden Soulsdyke Highway. There's street lighting being done under the projects under Sophia. If you look around Georgetown, you'll also see some lighting being put up in areas that are pretty dark.
Vaughan explained that an inventory was carried out in other areas without streetlights. However, Church and Waterloo Streets and other dark areas will be lit in time for the 50th Independence celebrations. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure has a number of ongoing projects in many areas to rehabilitate broken infrastructure and create new ones.
There are quite a number of projects that would have been going on presently. There are several areas that the Ministry of Public Infrastructure is looking at. For instance, we have works being done under the bridges, works being done on the roads, and also the other area being works being done on the sea and river defenses.
Renetta LaFleur, Government News Brief.
The Ministry of Social Protection is advising all senior citizens receiving pensions that they will be able to cash their May 2016 coupons from May 4, 2016. Recipients of public assistance will also be able to cash their vouchers for that month from May 4, 2016. The delay is due to May 1 being a public holiday. The ministry apologizes for any inconvenience caused. The National Two-Shouts Council refutes claims of government's interference in its operations. Details in this report.
Secretary of the NTC, Ian Boyle, says that the council condemns report in the media which suggests that government is interfering with the workings of the council.
As Secretary of the National Tush House Council, I do condemn this act because this statement did not come with the full blessing of the 20-member executive body. It was only the one person who take the responsibility on himself and made the press release.
Boyle noted that the council is satisfied with the level of support they have been receiving from government. He pointed out that the Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Sidney Allicock, who is an ex officio member of the council, participated in the council's March meeting, and the minutes will prove that there was no interference. Meanwhile, advisor to the minister, Marvin Williams, noted that the meeting, which was requested by the chairman of the council, dealt with the issue of land titling and demarcation.
The NTC chairman made it very clear from the onset that the request for this meeting with the minister had to do with the need for additional information and some more clarity on the issue of the Amerindian land titling project. The information requested was provided by the Honorable Minister. The clarity sought was provided to the NTC representatives at that meeting.
The NTC was established in accordance with the Amerindian Act of 2006 as an autonomous body of Tush House representing 212 Amerindian villages and communities. This body has an elective executive corps who is elected in a sub-regional elections every 3 years. The role of the NTC is to assist in the development of the indigenous peoples across the country. For the Government News Brief, Sinika Thorne reporting.
Labor officers receive training as part of the Ministry of Social Protection's program for Occupational Safety and Health Month. Details in this report.
So labor officers are now more knowledgeable after their training that focus on integrity, respect, innovation, commitment, and professionalism. Trainer Dr. Dale particularly highlighted how vital innovation is to an organization. Dr. Dan also provided advice on how to deal with problems in the workplace.
So you're not going to like everybody, and everybody's not going to like you. But understand, in your commitment to this organization, we've got to find a way of holding hands. Let the links be airtight so we can achieve those values and those goals.
Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Keith Scott, highlighted some of the challenges workers face in the execution of their jobs.
We're still victims of the culture of this country. We have political interference that affects the person from performing their work. In terms of innovation, it's almost non-existent in Guyana because that interference is one, and civil servants have lost the courage and to be able to take that chance to be innovative.
Minister Scott thanked Dr. Dan for sharing her knowledge with the labor officers. The training session was one of the many activities held in observance of Occupational Safety and Health Month under the theme Workplace Stress, a Collective Challenge. Minister Scott stated that there will be continued training for labor officers year-round in an effort to build capacity.
We have come to the end of this edition of the Government News Brief. You can find the details of these and other stories on GINA's website. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. You can also like and follow us on Facebook so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again on Tuesday for another edition of the Government News Brief. Until then, do have a safe weekend. Thank you for watching.